Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome here to another painting stream. We're getting down the home stretch here of finishing up these cars for the Skittles Super Speedway series. So, very soon, this series will be able to get started. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. I basically spent the whole weekend being lazy. I don't think I really did much of anything NR 2003 related, with the possible exception of just helping Cole Baker, who's going to be doing the uh, Coors Light Truck Series, continuing that on. I helped him with some banners, but aside from that, I really didn't do a whole heck of a lot in terms of NR 2003. So, there weren't really any cars that I can think of off the top of my head that I actually painted between last stream and this stream. I'll just look down the list here, but I don't think there really were. I think the only ones that I did, you guys saw on the last stream for the most part. Boo yourself, Michael. So at this point, I've got 70 cars in my lineup already. 10 more left to do. One of them, I know somebody is actually painting their own car. One of them, somebody still got to send me the number and the sponsors. They haven't done that yet. I got to get a hold of them. And so we basically have 8 cars left to paint. I'm currently in the process of painting one right now before we came on the air here for this stream. So we'll start with this one and then we'll move on from there. So technically, after I finish this one, I'm going to have to only paint 8 more cars. So let's see. The cars that we still got left to do, the car that we're working on right now is the 30 of Sedale Solera. I'll show you that car in just a moment. And then we have, let's see, we've got Jonathan Zorline's Lowe's car, which I said is an easy one, so I don't know if I'll do that one on a stream. We got the one probably that we'll do today is Roger Ray's Delphi Chevrolet, the number 68. We've got Diego Yepez's number 69 Autism Speaks car. We've got Ryan Butcher's Gatorade Flow Help Florence Toyota. Caleb Farrell's number 96 DC Comics Chevy, and William Brock's 01 SunTrust Chevy, which I went back and I thought that I had a base scheme for William Brock, and for some reason I guess didn't have one. I thought for certain I had one because I remember, I want to say it was a Daytona 500 race where I had, or it was an All-Star race. It might have been the All-Star race. I don't remember if it was a Hershey's Cup or not, but I had where there were going to be some slots for drivers to be able to fill up the open because there were only going to be, I think, like 10 cars in the open. So I had where some drivers could fill in some spots and try and make the All-Star race via the All-Star Showdown. And I'm pretty certain William Brock's number, I'm pretty sure it was a 62 at the time, and it was a SunTrust car, and I'm almost certain I painted that car. Maybe I didn't. Maybe somebody painted it and he sent it to me, but I'm almost certain I paid that car, and I don't know where that base scheme is at. So that's annoying. So basically what I'm doing here with Sadal, is that how you pronounce his name? Sadal Solera? Number 30. Yeah, Sadale, something like that. I'm basically taking, he's actually the older brother of Simon Solaire, who signed up for the 4, and they used the correct method of using 2 different YouTube accounts, which was the requirement that you could only sign up one car per account. He is actually the older brother of Simon Solera. And so what I did is, since one's running the nacho cheese and one's running Cool Ranch, I basically just took the same base, changed it up a little bit in terms of the coloring, and so we've got the red nacho cheese. I got to change, obviously, the Cool Ranch thing over there on the hood, but should paint your Holodega car. Well, it's kind of difficult to paint a Holodega car when I've been given no information about what that Holodega car is supposed to look like, Michael. I've actually just recently had a whole flood of requests coming in from people, paint scheme requests too. I mean, I've been able to, for the most part, devote a lot of time to painting these Skittles Super Speedway cars, but off camera, a lot of other people um, have been requesting on and off for me to paint certain things. Well, I ended up, I think this past weekend, getting at least 4 requests for cars, and so probably a good thing I'm getting close to the home stretch here of the Skittles car, so I can then start doing that again, painting cars for other people. I've got to paint 2 that I know of trucks. They're doing a vehicles of movies theme race for NSCRA league that I'm going to be running in. Last year, I drove a Magic School Bus truck. Many of you might remember me posting that on Facebook. And it's kind of along that kind of a line, of vehicle that is in a movie. And I don't know if I'm going to bring back the school bus or if I'm going to do something different, but I got to paint 2 trucks for that. Car based off your costume this year, haha. Oh, okay, so you're going to be whatever that character is. Was that supposed to be Jason? I think it was Jason. I can never tell the difference. I'm not a horror film fan, so I don't know these characters very well. It could have been Jason. It could have been Freddie Mercury. I don't know who all these characters are. I'm sorry. I am not culturally refined. That's not even a word. All right, get rid of that. Was there a cool ranch over here? There is. Not going to be a horror movie guy. Jax Teller from an old TV show called Sons of Anarchy. Only Sons of Anarchy that I can remember, and this is probably incorrect, is something to do with motorcyclists. Okay, let's see. Oh, I gotta get rid of the Cool Ranch over here too. But if all goes... Oh, it is, okay. So I was correct in that at least. So like I had said, I think on the last live stream, I'm projecting that this series will be able to get started next week. I'm thinking I'm going to have the cars done by then, and I'm hopefully going to have the Royal Rumble recorded by then as well. So that's going to come out first, and then this will start. It's an MC. You're going to go get food. Okay. I don't know what food is in the mornings. Also, with the Royal Rumble coming out, we've got our next race that'll be coming up when we reach the $200 mark threshold for the GoFundMe. The Daytona Dream 2019. If you want to donate, you can donate down below. The link is provided. Next race we got coming up, next special event, is actually going to be an endurance race at the Charlotte Road Course. And this is actually going to be the Charlotte Roval, because thanks to Carter Friesen, there is actually an LP fix now for the AI cars to actually be able to make their way around the racetrack without wrecking. Before, when the 2 different tracks, the beta version and the early access version, were released, both of them, the AI would crash. They couldn't make it around the track without wrecking, especially in the chicane on the back straightaway. But fortunately now there have been LP fixes that have been released, and thanks to Carter, he sent them to me, and I have them. So for those of you that don't know what LP means, the LP files are actually in the track what determines the racing line for the race cars in the game, the AI race cars. Like for those that go in like I do and delete the racing line to be able to have the cars run, a little bit differently than just where the game is determining where they should go. In order to be able to get 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide racing, what you're basically doing is you're deleting a LP file in the INI. So pretty excited too here for October because we're getting started, getting ready for the Holodega race. That should be fun. A lot of cars have been painted. A lot of paint schemes have been done. And we're going to be running that race on the 24th, and you guys will be able to see it. I don't know yet whether it's going to be broadcast on this channel or whether it's going to be broadcast over on Napa Fan's channel. I really, don't care either way, but Napa Fan is going to be broadcasting the race for us live, which is going to be amazing. Really appreciate him doing that for us. We ended up having last year where the race was broadcast, but it wasn't broadcast live. And this season, the guy or a couple of the guys that brought you the broadcast last year, Kyle Keith, who did the recording and was a commentator, and Cole Deaver, who was a commentator, they are both actually going to be taking part in this year's Holodega race. So looking forward to that. So I think at least that I know of right now, your commentary team for the moment are going to consist of Napa Fan, as well as possibly Chris Dollarton, and also, I believe, James Qualls. You forgot about it's fine, Tristan. It's fine. I still got about 8 more cars I got to paint, and I said this before you came here on the stream. This series probably isn't going to get started until next week, so you got time. So you're fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, is it Sadale? I gotta make sure I'm writing this guy's first name down correctly. Good thing I looked, because it was this way. Solera. I don't remember what font I even did it in. We'll just do it in this. It's gonna be a busy week too. Okay, back to class stuff. Okay. It's gonna be a busy week for me in terms of Enter 2003 because today, well, not, I shouldn't say in terms of 2003, I should say just a busy week for me in general. Because today, we got the stream today, we're painting up cars, and then today at 2 o'clock, I'm going over to an auction, which is just less than a mile away. There's a place that was having an estate sale for the past 2 weeks. I went the first day they were open, and their prices were absolutely stupid. And so now that it's an auction, they can't set a price on it. I'm going to go see what they've got there and maybe be able to see if I can get a deal. I'm for the most part looking for Christmas presents because, as you guys know, I'm trying to save up towards Daytona Dream 2019. And I got some stuff that's in the works of trying to save up money, earn money, get money, but I also have like a little set aside thing for spending so that way I can have Christmas presents for my family. And so if I can get some good stuff for cheap at the auction today, that might take care of that situation. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, I gotta look today and see. There's a place where I sent a bunch of stuff down to an auction place, and they normally run every 2 weeks. They didn't run this past Saturday, so they're supposed to run this coming Saturday. And I've checked for the last week or so, and they haven't listed anything for their auction. So I'm kind of thinking, what? Why are you not listing anything for your auction haul? You're not having an auction this week. I wanted to see if my stuff is in the pictures, but there hasn't been anything yet. I'll have to check and see. Maybe they don't show it till the middle of the week, actually, now that I think of it. But I'll have to look and see. Hoping it's going to bring in a little bit of money. I don't think it's going to bring in much. My uncle was saying he didn't think it was going to either. The auction business, it's hit and miss, and the auction business isn't doing so well this at this point. So, all right, we've got this card. So let's mark that off the list. Um, So, I don't know how much I'm going to get for it, but it's certainly going to be a lot better than just sitting around here at my house and gathering dust and not doing anything, especially now that basically garage sale season is over. I found out that they're actually having village wide garage sales at my neighboring village on October 5th, 6th, and 7th. So, yeah, interesting that that's taking place at this time of the year, but there you go. All right, so let's now do Roger Ray's Delphi number 68, and that's out of JJ Motorsports, which uses the Hendrick font, so we at least know that. So we're down now to 8 cars left to paint. Chipping away. So hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the Charlotte Roval. I certainly did. That weekend was absolutely amazing. A lot of people were heading in not really knowing what to expect, and that's what I actually liked, was the kind of not sure what was going to happen, not sure if it was going to be chaotic, not sure if it was going to be boring. Just that element of surprise is what I really liked. And to be honest, I thought the race itself was actually really good. Um, a lot of people don't like road course racing because there's not a whole heck of a lot of passing. It takes very long time for a battle for position to start heating up. But to me, I enjoy the road course racing, but I enjoy watching on television. I went to Watkins Glen back in 2005, spent most of the time watching a big screen, and so I figured there's really was no sense of being here. Probably the Charlotte Roval, though, you probably would be able to see all the action because the mile and a half, you'd be able to see the infield and everything. So probably going there and watching that race would have been a good experience. As I'm trying to remember what I'm even doing here. Okay. But in all honesty, for a debut race, I honestly thought it was a really good weekend. I thought that the race that happened in the Xfinity Series was really, really good. I mean, I don't think anybody had Chase Briscoe picked out to win that race. I know I have a Delphi scheme here somewhere. I will find it. There it is. And then I thought that the race for the Cup cars was actually really good too. A lot of people were upset at the move Jimmy Johnson made in that final corner. And I've gone on record to say I'm not a Jimmy Johnson fan. I won't say that I hate Jimmy Johnson because I don't hate any driver. But what I will say is I don't have a whole lot of respect for Jimmy Johnson. And, I'm not saying this to make Johnson fans angry. I mean, you like who you like. I'm not going to fault you for that. But, I mean, in terms of the move that he made there on Truex, it's the last lap. And Johnson had been riding what is it? Going into that race, 58 race winless streak. Of course he's going to drive it in there deep and try and win that race. What driver wouldn't? If it had been Truex in that position, he would have done the exact same thing that Johnson did. You can't argue with that. It's in a racer's mentality that you want to be the one that wins that race. Even though Truex was safely through to the next round, he wanted to win that race. Case in point, he flat out wrecks Jimmy Johnson after the race is over because he didn't appreciate getting wrecked out of, potentially getting that win. If the shoe was on the other foot, Truex would have done the same thing. Parker Kligerman had even made reference to that if you were within about 6 car lengths or 6/10 of the car in front of you going into that chicane, you had a shot to be able to go for the win. So you can't fault Jimmy Johnson for that move. I'm a little perplexed by Truex wrecking Jimmy Johnson after the race was over, though. I know that as a competitor, he wanted to win that race and everything, but he was safely through. And the only thing I could think of is he wanted to get more stage points or something, but I'm not really sure what the reasoning was of what he wrecked Johnson for. I don't even know if they did an interview with him and he explained himself or not. I didn't. If he did, I didn't see it, but I was a little perplexed by that. I don't know. I get it that he wanted to win the race, but he was already safely into the next round. So I'm not really sure what his beef was with Johnson on that whole incident. But regardless, I didn't have a problem with the move Johnson made. Whoever it would have been, I wouldn't have had a problem with them driving it deep into that corner because you're trying to win the race, especially with the scenario Johnson was in. He wasn't in a must-win situation. He probably would have made it into the next round if he hadn't made that move. But as a racer, and I can say this for online racing too, you say to yourself heading into a race, okay, I'm going to be conservative. I'm not going to race this guy hard. I just want to have a good finish. But you get up there in the final lap to third, second place, and all that goes out the window. You don't even think about, okay, that was my strategy coming in. Let's stick to it. No, you go out there and you want to win the race. I don't know if you guys saw the race, not this past one that I put out for Net Zero at Proving Grounds, but before that at I think it was at Daytona. Yeah, the Daytona race. I was riding, I think it was in third place, and I was perfectly fine. I was going to push the 84 if I could, if he made a move. And all of a sudden, I saw the high line coming. Immediately, priorities changed. My initial plan, immediately out the window. I jumped up to the high side, and I tried leading that group to try and win that race. So, it's the same deal for all these guys that are in these race cars in real life in NASCAR. They've got these priorities. Johnson's priority was probably, all right, I just need a consistent finish. I'm going to get into the next round. Well, he sees Truex within striking distance. Immediately, the priority is going to change of, oh, well, I've had a 58 race winless streak. I'd love to be able to get back in victory lane. I'm going to make this move. So, I have absolutely no issue with Johnson making that move. And I know people are going to argue about this, but I could put some of the blame of Truex getting involved in that wreck on Truex because he could have easily seen that Johnson was spinning out, and I was able to tell. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what the visibility is in a race car, but I was able to tell when Johnson spun out that he was going to slide and clip Truex. I could tell as soon as Johnson got loose. Truex could have stopped. He could have slowed down, waited for Johnson to slide across, and then gone on. So, the shoe could go, the shoe could fit on either foot, to be perfectly honest. And it's a racing event. You can't say one driver's at fault, one driver's not at fault when it's on the last lap in the final corner at a track they've never been at. So, my opinion, it was a racing deal. Truex needs to get over it. He would have done the exact same thing in the exact same opportunity had he had the chance. There's just no arguing that because it's the plain fact. You cannot argue that would be a driver's mentality no matter who they are. But with not being the greatest of Johnson fans, I do have to say I was happy with who got eliminated and who got in through the next round. I was really nervous when I saw that Almirola was outside the cut line at one point, that Blaney was outside the cut line, that Bowman, Boyer, that they were all outside the cut line. I was like, oh, I want all four of them to make it, but I don't think there's enough room for them. Fortunately, there was. I do feel kind of bad for Eric Jones, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm not as much a fan of his as I am of Boyer and Almirola and Blaney and Bowman. So I'm really looking forward to see. Bowman said that if they made it through to the next round, that they had tracks coming up that they felt they were going to be really good at. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if he can make it to the round of 8. It's going to be interesting to see, though, because his past couple of races haven't been the greatest when he's running up near the front. They have some kind of issue take place. So we'll have to wait and see what occurs with that. But overall, I enjoyed the Charlotte Roval. I'm really glad they put a road course in the playoffs. I thought it was kind of cool, too, that it ended up being an elimination race. I was surprised that for a road course, the point standings were as close as they were coming down to it towards the end of the race. You would normally expect something like that to take place at a super speedway, perhaps, where it's so easy to be able to pick up so many different positions in the course of a lap. But the fact you had Blaney, Bowman, Boyer all running nose to tail, position after position after position, and those four were separated by 4 points in the playoff standings, it's like, wow, who would have thought that a road course would have that kind of a scenario? So I thought that was pretty cool. Not saying that's going to be the case next year. I mean, it may be a cut and dry who's going to be the four eliminated next year, but at least for this year, I thought that was pretty cool. And I also saw someone, I'm not going to name any names, but somebody posted on Facebook that Ryan Blaney's win, actually his both wins, were lucky. Well, okay, first off, let's go back to Pocono. He flat out blocked Kyle Busch down to the grass at Pocono to be able to hang on and win that race. So you cannot tell me that holding off Kyle Busch is not earning a race win. And then in terms of this race, a lot of times, and this has taken place over in online racing that I've been in as well, it's all about being in the right place at the right time. I mean, okay, maybe you don't have the strongest car, but you at least are in the position that if the top two wreck, you're going to be able to have a chance of winning the race. And that's exactly what Ryan Blaney did. So you cannot tell me that, oh, I think I just saved the base scheme as the 68. Whoops. Yep, I did. You cannot tell me that Ryan Blaney did not earn that win when he had himself positioned in the very spot necessary to be able to pass when the top two wrecked. All right? I mean, you do not have to be leading, coming to the checkered flag to be considered the the guy that should earn that's going to win the race, and that everybody behind you, if they end up winning due to your misfortune, that they're just lucky. It doesn't work that way. To me, it really it makes me chuckle sometimes when you watch NASCAR fans, even any kind of sports fans, react the way they do to sporting events, results and whatnot, because they can't see through the bias opinion that they have. I was in TeamSpeak yesterday, and there was this whole problem of people still calling the Patriots the Deflatriots. Who cares? I'm a Patriots fan, and if people want to call my team the Deflatriots, that's fine. I don't care. Fact of the matter is, it's not going to change my opinion of, rooting for them week after week. If people have their opinion about the Patriots, let them have their opinion. Whatever. Makes no difference to me, but people get all bent out of shape when they hear people call them the Deflatriots. People got all out of shape because Johnson swept up Martin Truex Jr. and took him out of a win. I don't know. I really don't know. I could go on and on with this because it doesn't, and yeah, I know I'm getting animated and everything, but it doesn't make me angry. It really doesn't. It does not make me angry at all. It makes me chuckle because I just don't see what the big deal is. Anywho, let's get off of that. Let's get off that subject. Man. So anyway, I was going to say earlier before I think I cut myself off, a lot of stuff going on this week. For me personally, I mentioned that I'm going to the auction today. And then tomorrow, we've got a gaming session where we're going to play Cockroach Simulator, which, by the way, if anybody would like to join us tomorrow for that, it's going to be at 12:30 in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. All you basically need is the game, which I have the link provided, and then you need to have an account at a place called Steam, which is also free. So, I mean, if you guys want to join us, everything is free. So if you want to join us, let me know, and I can shoot you the link to the game and help you get set up with Steam and all that. That's going to be taking place, as I said, tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I haven't decided. I don't think tomorrow's going to be the day. I think tomorrow's the day I'm going to get it set up. But I've also got an armor race that I got to run, I think. But I'm going to probably set it up tomorrow and record it on Wednesday, and that's going to be the Royal Rumble. And then Thursday, I actually am going to have a span of time as well, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. So I do know for absolute certain you guys are not going to get a stream on Wednesday, because Wednesday morning I will be recording the Royal Rumble. Tuesday, tomorrow, I don't know. Possibly you guys are going to get a painting stream, but I'm not 100% certain. So, I gotta stop yawning. And I said this too, I think it was last week. I'll say it again. If anybody wants their offline series or the organization that they run for or anything like that, if they want that promoted at the Holodega race, you're gonna have to get me that logo either through Facebook or through Discord, either one. You're gonna have to get that logo to me no later than I'm gonna say probably October 10th, because we're going to be running some testing races for the Holodega race, and I've got to get it into the server as well. So, yep, going to need those ASAP. I told you guys that they have a new NRT now, that the old NRTs have closed down for NR servers. I gotta say, I like the newer ones a little bit better in terms of file upload. Because before, when I would load a track or a mod into the server, you didn't know how much time was actually left. It would just show you the progress of how much of it was uploaded, but you didn't know a time limit. Now you get the time limit, which I like. Michael! Why are you yelling at me in the chat? We need a regular show than the pay-per-views. YWC Brawl, main show, keep the name of the 4 main pay-per-views. As for the others, need to come up with names. Okay, we'll come up with names, but I don't know if we need to come up with the names right now. Okay, this looks pretty good. Oh, it was also a good weekend for me because I won fantasy baseball. Yay! I'm the champion for the second time. All my players decided to all of a sudden this week be really, really good. I ended up winning the finals 700 something to 300 something. It was pretty much a blowout. Hey Qualls, how you doing? I think you actually commented earlier and I forgot to welcome you to the stream, so my apologies on that. There we go. And now we got to put Ray on the back. I normally don't get to watch YouTube videos during the weekend either, because I'm usually watching sports. Saturday, I was watching college football and the Xfinity race, and then yesterday I was watching more football and the Cup race. Didn't really get much chance to be able to watch YouTube videos, and so I'm looking forward to probably, well, maybe not this afternoon because I don't really know how long I'm going to be at that auction, but at some point this week, finishing up. I think it's the end, but I'm not sure. It might be the last episode of the Life is Strange episode 1. I have to say, I liked Life is Strange. I didn't care for the bridge that they had, the whole deal with, um, what was it, Chloe and Rachel. It was okay, but it didn't flow quite as well. And then they came out with that other little DLC where Max and Chloe discover that Max is going to be moving away. I think it was to Seattle or something. They were all right, but they didn't have the continuity and the flow that the original Life is Strange did. And now they've come out with this second Life is Strange. They don't have the original characters in it, but it's been okay. It's been good. It's been a emotional roller coaster for sure. The only thing I'm a little confused about is all of these kids end up having superpowers. I mean, Max was able to turn back time, and now this little boy is able to, I don't know, when he gets afraid or something, everything blows up. I don't know. It's like all of these kids. 68 already exists. What is it? Is that what I extracted though? That might be what I extracted. Let me look and see. 68. Yep. Okay, so we'll replace that. But I don't know. It's like how do all these kids, at least two kids with superpowers, end up being in the same general area? And I've never been able to figure out too if it's supposed to be pre or post that big storm, that big tornado typhoon hitting that town. All right, so Roger Ray's car is completed. Let's, while I'm thinking of it, let's put those in the game. And you guys will be able to see the cars really close up now because back when I was making the thumbnail for the Net Zero Proving Grounds race, I had the game in the 1280 720 aspect ratio, and I never changed it back. So there you go. So there you see 70 cars. We're about to add in 2 more. So let's add in the 30. I also did do another car off camera this morning before I came on, just because Simon Bloomfield's uh, number 21. I remember I had actually said something about this. I think it was in last week's stream where I was thinking, why are the 04 and the 21 teammates out of the same stables, and yet one's a Toyota and one's a Ford? And then I got messaged of, could I change one over to a Toyota? So I did. So that's actually been done. That's already in the game. So where's that 30? There it is. Don't remind me of that race. Still salty over that. Yeah, I can understand that, Qualls. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. I was just referring to the fact that I was using this size screen to make the thumbnail. I need to wake up. Maybe it's a bad thing I'm not a coffee person because it would probably help wake me up, but I don't drink coffee. I mean, I drink coffee, but I don't drink it all the time. I'm not a person that runs on coffee. I need to really be in a special mood if I'm going to drink it. I maybe drink coffee, I don't know, 5, 6 times a year, roughly. Just don't seek it out. It's not something that Raji Ray. Raji Ray, yes. 68. Your coffee is called chocolate milk. Does that actually help keep you awake? I mean, is there. I don't know. Is there caffeine in cacao? I don't remember if there's any kind of caffeine in the cacao nut. Uh, Delphi. Probably if I was ever to drink anything to keep me awake, it would probably be like a caffeinated soda. Wait, you lied. It's called hot chocolate. Yeah, that's me. That is me. My family really like drinking tea, and whenever they drink tea, I'm like, "Yep, but make mine a hot chocolate." So, I'm on board with you there. We ended up having a place Cumberland Farms. New Englanders will know what that is, and it closed down not too far from us. And my dad was really good friends with the manager, and since they were closing up, they had all this stock, and so the manager gave my dad a whole box of I think it's peppermint hot cocoa, and it's like 3 years supply of cocoa. So I'm pretty well set in terms of hot chocolate. All right. So see, yeah, because the 04 here that Matt Rod painted, it's a Toyota, and it's out of PCMB Motorsports. And the 21 that I was asked to paint was a Ford, and they said, "Could you change it back, change it to a Toyota?" So they're teammates. So there they go. They're teammates now. Okay, so there's the 30 that we just painted, and there's the 68 that we just painted. I told you guys I had the Delphi base all set to go. Hot chocolate season ain't until like December. Nah, Qualls, hot chocolate season is all year round. Actually, for me, if I'm to pick an area where hot chocolate is, hot chocolate season for me personally would run between September to March because that's where we get all the cold weather and everything. I mean, it's cold right now. My hands are actually freezing, and I'm almost one. I'm praying that the auction I'm going to is indoors because if it's outdoors, we're all gonna be frozen standing out there. But it starts getting cold around September up here, like mid-September, and usually it doesn't start warming up until the middle of March, maybe even early April. So that's with it being cold, it's definitely time for hot chocolate. Okay, let's see. What do we got next? We could do either Diego Yepez's 69 Autism Speak Chevy or Ryan Butcher's 76 Gatorade Flow Help Florence Toyota. Unless you live in Kentucky where you sometimes don't have a winter. Yeah, it's not been a real northeast winter for us the last couple of years. We get snow, but we've not really, to my knowledge, in the last maybe 3 or 4 years, gotten a real nor'easter blizzard. It's just been, a little dusting of snow here, and then it warms up and it melts. And then a little dusting of snow there, and then it warms up and melts. We've not really had that great of winters up here the last couple of years. I remember 2000, I want to say it was 2014, we actually had a white Thanksgiving and a green Christmas. There was green grass outside our house, not a snowflake to be seen on Christmas that year. And yet we had snow on Thanksgiving. So it was a very, very strange year. All right, let's do. I'm curious about this one. Let's do the 76, the Ryan Butcher Gatorade Flow Car. All right. It's Toyota. All right. I've actually never heard of Gatorade Flow. I can't drink Gatorade, so I'm not really up to date with Gatorade anyway. Drank Gatorade once broke out in hives. I'm allergic to it. Probably allergic to electrolytes. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Am I allergic to electrolytes? I don't remember if I've had anything else that has electrolytes in it. I need to sneeze. 1 second. That feels much better. All right. Gatorade Flow. Okay, let's see. What are we dealing with here? Oh, we got a bunch of different colors. We got red, green, yellow. I like that blue. Got another green there with pink. Gatorade Flow Smooth. What are these? Are these Gatorade Flow Smooth Finish Kiwi Strawberry? So is it like a Gatorade juice? I don't know. Oh, let's see what we can come up with a logo. First off, Gatorade Flow Thirst Quencher. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to get really creative with this. I like the look of that one, to be honest. So let's do this one. Let's do this color with the blue and the purple. Okay, so let's have the color of the liquid be around that. Save the pink. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to try and see if we can make this whole thing look like liquid. First time today, we have to bring up Mozilla Firefox. It's really weird looking at my stream on my other laptop. I don't know if I've got like a different color saturation or what, but the color that I'm looking at on my screen right now looks nothing like the color I'm seeing on the screen that's showing the stream. So I don't know what actual color you guys are seeing. And Firefox is frozen. There we go. Um, it's just in. Bubbles has only one B. Okay. There we go. Let's see what we come up with here. Oh, got the shadow on it. Well, that's not good. Ooh, this looks good. Please be a PNG. Yes, okay. Okay. Okay, now let's see. What else we got? Oh boy, I don't know if we can. Why does that not look like the same green? That looks nothing like that green. There we go. Let's try this one. That's a little better. All right. Is there any way we can have like a plastic looking overlay? Transparent plastic texture. Well, let's give it a go. And let's lower its opacity a little bit. Put it down to 30. And no, let's raise it a little bit. 35. That looks good. Okay. Thing I'm a little worried about is the Gatorade Flow logo. Gatorade Flow logo. See, we got that one, but I kind of want something like this, which they're not giving me, which is somewhat annoying. Gatorade Free Flow. I don't think that's quite the same thing. Shoot. Okay, so we're going to have to get very creative. Okay. Okay, this is what we're going to do. And I have the feeling with the amount of time this is going to take, we may not be able to finish this scheme on the stream today. We'll have to wait and see, but that's the gut feeling I have. And for the first time today, we're going to have to use Car Viewer as well. Oh, oh, we were so close. We almost lined it up perfectly. Sorry if I'm being quiet, I've run out of things to say. Yeah, I know, Michael. Amazing, isn't it? I never run out of things to say. No, you. Welcome, Fitzy. Didn't know you were here. Glad to have you on the stream where we're basically not talking at all. It's very quiet. It's the library stream. That is very confusing front splitter, I have to say. Or the front nose. Well, I guess that's gonna have to do for now. Oh, this is not gonna be. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, so I got what I want here. Oh, nope, I forgot over on this side. Whoops. We can discuss YWC. Why are we discussing YWC when you don't even have the game yet? And why does that show up so weirdly? Who's going to be the new commissioner and GM, and when Charles or Kyle will face Charles Robinson next? I don't know. Will Kyle ever face Charles Robinson again? I think Robinson will want to keep his 1-0 record against Kyle intact. Robinson's able to lord that over Kyle anytime he wants to. Why would he risk his record? That's like The Undertaker saying, "Hey, Brock Lesnar, I'm going to put my streak on the line against you." Okay, now this is not going to be fun. This is where it's going to get very interesting. Wait, what? What? Oh, I think I'm overwriting a version I tried before. A riot car. Charles will hire a representative for him, Brock Lesnar. Oh, wow. So wait, so how would that work? I mean, how would theoretically Charles Robinson get credited for the victory if Brock Lesnar's fighting for him? I don't know if we can swing that. I think the history books will just show Brock Lesnar demolished Kyle Matthews. I don't think Charles Robinson would get any of the credit. Oh boy. Oh, I don't think this is gonna work. 2-on-1 handicap match? Okay, now that's just being unfair. I never thought I would feel badly for Kyle Matthews, but you're doing a very good job of having me start. Ah, shoot. What the heck am I doing? Two against one and anything is not fair. Well, it depends. Depends on who the wrestler is. I mean, if it's the B team against Brock Lesnar, I don't feel so badly. For Brock Lesnar, that is. I feel badly for the B team. Oh my goodness, I think we did it. Oh my goodness, I think it worked. Oh, yay. Oh, gracious. Worked out a lot better than it probably should have. Okay. Now the question is, how do we get this to work? Remember that time when Sean Henley ran NXT Pepperidge Farm remembers? Yeah, but we only got what? Two NXT episodes? Maybe three? Maybe it was three. Remember when the whole YWC thing was Henley's idea? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Remember Sean Henley? Pepperidge Farm. Okay, that's just mean. Time to play some Sims on Xbox. You gonna read through the new features and everything like that guy did on the Markiplier Try Not to Laugh? Sims will leave a building if a meteor is about to hit, except for if it's a school in which the children will never leave and always die. The heck did that? I don't know what that was I clicked on. It's his idea until I took it over in a hostile takeover. No pun intended. Well, that's not helpful. I can't help it that I'm being quiet. I'm concentrating and I don't have anything to say. These templates are all so weird. None of them are alike. Some of them you have to have the sponsor facing out. Some of them you have to have them straight. Some of them you have to have them facing in. Unless you really goof it up like I just did right there. This is working out a lot better than I was expecting. That looks pretty doggone cool. Just my opinion, but I like it. I like that a lot. Okay. So now we gotta figure out what we're gonna do over here. I have a thought. But I gotta figure out if I want to have the side skirts be pink or the side skirts be black. And I don't think I made any side skirts for the Toyota template, which is sad. There's also no B pillars for the Toyota template, which is also sad. Who the heck made the Toyota template? The Big Evil? I don't remember. Okay, so a lightning bolt. Do do do. Mm-hmm. Last night we were me and my family were watching Gaither tapes, the old ones, and so I've got all those songs spinning around in my head. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I like those songs a lot. Okay. Let's do it right. Yeah, that's where I get mine too, Qualls. I don't get them there as much lately because I've basically downloaded most of them. So I don't really need to go and get them, but that's where I usually go and get my numbers whenever I need them as well. Okay. Uh, oh, yep. It's time to end the stream. My parents just came back. So I'll probably continue to work on this off screen. So you guys will see the finished product probably the next time we have a stream, which I'm assuming is going to be tomorrow, possibly. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, I'm out. Have a good day.